question is, will our fast break if we swallow our spit?
If we swallow
our saliva, our spit.
No. Swallowing the saliva will not affect your fasting. Saliva is coming out the salivary glands working 24 hours. Okay? So you cannot, impossible to avoid swallowing your saliva. If you think that when there is saliva, I am spitting my saliva, you cannot, you are spitting something, but by force, something will go inside. So swallowing the saliva will not break your fast.
Shaykh, the next question is is delaying Isha applicable for Ramadan, meaning the current time, or should this be the norm?
I mentioned for the brothers, if the masajid, inshallah soon, if the masajid are open, okay, so we should go and pray in the masjid. So for example, if your masjid pray after 10 minutes or after 20 minutes, you have to go and pray in the masjid. Then we tell you, don't delay al-Isha. Why? Because you are between two things. Praying with as for the brothers, as for the men, you are between two things. To pray with the jama'ah or to get the sunnah in delaying the Isha. No, pray the jama'ah. And this is what the Prophet ﷺ did. Okay, he delayed the Isha only one time. As we know the hadith, he delayed it one time. But the rest of the time he was praying early. Why? Because the importance of jama'ah or praying in the jama'ah is more important than delaying. This is for the brothers. But for the sisters, do this all the time. Do this all the time, because you should not go to the masjid. For us, we have to go to the masjid and pray in jama'ah. But for the sisters, you are sitting at home. And it's better for you to pray at home, and it's better for you to delay. Okay?
Jazakallah khair, Shaykh. The next question is that I pray Taraweeh and Witr in congregation now. Then I wake up 2:30 in the morning to pray Tahajjud, of course without the Witr. Question is that what is better for me when I wake up 2:30 in the morning to pray Tahajjud or read Quran?
Well, the point is the Prophet ﷺ did not pray more than 13 rak'ah. The Prophet ﷺ did not pray more than 13 rak'ah. So our habit should be like the Prophet ﷺ. Our practice should be like the Prophet ﷺ, to pray not more than 13 rak'ah. Okay? But for example, if this happened, for example, once, twice, a month, for example, okay, so usually I pray, then I sleep, then I wake, I pray, for example, the Taraweeh with Witr, then I sleep, then I wake for Fajr. But that day I woke up. Then I like to pray, okay, pray. You said, well, I pray 2 rak'ah or I read Quran, pray 2 rak'ah. Pray 2 rak'ah. Okay? Especially, we have the hadith that the Prophet ﷺ prayed 2 rak'ah after Witr. He prayed 2 rak'ah after Witr. Okay? And he recited in these 2 rak'ah, إِذَا زُلْزِلَتْ, in the first rak'ah, إِذَا زُلْزِلَتْ الْأَرْضُ زِلْزَالَهَا, and the second rak'ah, قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ. Okay? But for example, every day I am doing that. I pray, for example, something 9:30, then I wake up before Fajr, 2:30 also I am praying that. Okay? And I am praying 11 rak'ah, and later I am praying 8 rak'ah. Okay? We say the Prophet ﷺ did not do that. The Prophet ﷺ did not do that. If you like, for example, you pray 4 rak'ah at the beginning, if you know that you are waking at the late night. So you pray, for example, 4 rak'ah, 9:30 or 10. Then you sleep, then you wake up, then you pray again 7 rak'ah. You pray 7 rak'ah, so the total, for example, 11 rak'ah. Wallahu a'lam.
Jazakallah khair, Shaykh. The next question is that in the current circumstances, how many people are required for conducting Friday congregation, Jummah? And how can we pray Jummah of 2 rakats? And can we pray the Jummah of 2 rakats? Please clarify.
Can we pray Jum'ah 2 rak'ah? The Jum'ah is
I
2
think the
rak'ah.
question is that now that we are at home, then can we
Okay.
pray Jummah at home, number one, and if we do that, then is it 2 rakat or 4 rakat?
Okay, يعني this is the point that I think I mentioned. يعني here in Kuwait, the Ministry of Awqaf declared that the masajid are closed because of the current situation, coronavirus, and they gave the fatwa, you pray at home dhuhr. So this is the fatwa in the country, and many scholars here, they said we should not pray Jum'ah, we pray dhuhr. We pray 4 rak'ah. Okay? Because the issue is not the number. I mean, the issue is not only the number, because this is one of the issues. Okay, some scholars like the Shafi'iyya, the Hanabila, they said the minimum number for Jum'ah should be 40 people. 40. The minimum number said 40 people. And this is one point. Another point, many scholars said the Jum'ah should be in the masjid. The Jum'ah should be in masjid. It is not allowed to be at home. A third point that the scholars said, many scholars said, the Jum'ah should be from the permission of the Imam. They mean the ruler of the country. If he gave the permission to do Jum'ah, then you can. But he didn't. If he did not, then it is not allowed. Okay. What do they mean? They mean for example, now it is not allowed that you open a masjid by your own and you start the Jum'ah. Where is the permission from the Ministry of Awqaf? So there are many issues to pray Jum'ah at home. So now here in Kuwait we have the fatwa, we don't pray Jum'ah at home, we pray dhuhr. Okay? But the issue, if we are talking only about the issue of number, okay, some scholars said 40, some scholars said 3. 3 is enough for the Jum'ah. 3 is enough, and also very few scholars said 2 is enough number. Wallahu a'lam. But again, I'm not saying to pray Jum'ah. I'm saying if the point is about the number. Okay?
The next attendee, he is thanking you for sharing all the knowledge with us. And then the question is that can I pray Qiyam in parts? Meaning part of it after Isha and part of my Qiyam in the third part of the night.
Yes, you can. You can. For example, I prayed Al-Isha, I prayed 2 rak'ah, then I added 2 rak'ah, then I felt sleepy. Go and sleep, then when you wake up, you continue praying, for example, 7 rak'ah more. Or if you like to divide it, okay, divide. For example, you have work, you can pray 2 rak'ah, then you do your work, then you come and you pray 2 rak'ah, then you do work. This is, subhanallah, maybe for the mothers, especially for the mothers. Okay, if she has kids, okay, she cannot pray continuously 2 hours. She will pray only 2 rak'ah, then the baby is crying. Then she'll come to pray the second 2 rak'ah, then she will cook the suhoor, for example. Or this is for the people who are, for example, in duty. Okay, sometimes when I am on duty, I'm working in the hospital, so I have work. So I finish the work that I have. For example, I'm working in the lab, so I put the samples in the machine, and it takes maybe 20 minutes. So I go and pray 2 rak'ah. After I finish 2 rak'ah, I check the result and I release the report. Then I pray 2 rak'ah. Okay, so we need this. Even if it is not needed, you can do that. For Qiyam al-Layl, it is open. For Qiyam al-Layl, it is open. But no doubt, if you pray all of them together, your mind will be free for the salah. But you pray 2 rak'ah, then you do something, another 2 rak'ah, and another thing, you will keep your mind busy. But this is allowed.
Next question is that what are the permissible acts with my wife during fasting? For example, is it okay to kiss her?
With the relationship with the wife, the intercourse, this is one of the major sins, haram, during the day of Ramadan. This is one of the major sin. Okay? What about less than the intercourse? This is allowed. Okay? But we will not give the same rule for everyone. So for those people who can't control themselves, okay, it is okay to kiss your wife. And this is what's said by Aisha. What was said by Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, she mentioned that the Prophet ﷺ was kissing his wives in Ramadan. But she said, وَكَانَ أَمْلَكُكُمْ لِإِرْبِهِ. But the Prophet ﷺ was controlling himself. He was the most person who can control himself. Okay? So if you are a person, you know that you can't control yourself, okay. This is allowed. We will not say this is haram. But if it is risky, so please avoid that. Avoid that. Stay in one room and your wife in the other room until the Maghrib, until the sunset. Because this is a serious sin. The people who did that, the Prophet ﷺ mentioned the hadith. Of course, this is a sin. You should repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 2, you have to make up this day after Ramadan. Number 3, you have to free a slave. Okay, now from where you can get a slave? Then we tell you to fast 2 months. Because of breaking this day, you have to fast 2 months. Okay, so it is a serious sin. So please be careful. Is it allowed? Yes, this is allowed for the person who can control himself. What do you mean that he can control himself? Who can stop himself. He can put a line for himself. Allahu Alam.
Can we cut nails and hair while fasting?
Yes, you can cut your hairs and nails while fasting.
Next question is that Shaykh, I thought Isha can pray until Fajr Azan. Now I understand only up to midnight. And he's thanking you for that. Jazakallah khair.
This is, there is a hadith that the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that the time of Isha until the midnight. Okay? You are not wrong that you think that Isha can be prayed until Fajr, because some scholars said the time of Isha until Fajr. The time of Isha until Fajr. And other scholars said the time of Isha until the midnight. And this is the opinion supported by Shaykh Mu'thamin. Strictly, he said the time of Isha until the midnight, not up after the midnight. But majority of scholars said the time of Isha extends until the Fajr. But also, okay, many of them said this is waqt darura. It is necessity time. Okay, if you are sitting and, for example, some people, they are chatting and enjoying the food, and they say, Wallah, khalas, because we are sitting together and we are enjoying something, some topic, okay, or I have something on the laptop, I'm doing my work, I will delay Isha until 1:30. No, they said, no, this is not allowed. This is, they said, it is a time of Isha. Okay, what is the point? Sometimes many people don't know what is the point of the different opinions. The point is for the woman, the menstruating woman, if she is clean, if she's pure, if the blood stops 1:30 a.m. So for the opinion of the majority of scholars, they said she has to pray al-Isha. After taking shower, she has to pray al-Isha. But if we take the opinion the time of Isha finish, then she doesn't have to pray Isha. Okay? So this is the point of different opinions. So if you are sitting, nothing important, okay, you have to pray Isha before the midnight. Okay? But for the menstruating woman, she became clean, according to the opinion of majority of scholars, they said she has to pray Isha 1:30. Okay, so this is the point.
Next question is it okay for us to finish sahur an hour early to save ourselves from acidity?
Sorry, again, is it allowed to?
So, Shaykh, you mentioned that we should continue our sahur up until the end, till the Fajr Adhan. In that light, the attendee is asking that if we want to finish 1 hour early to save us from acidity.
No. The sunnah. Okay, if the person has a problem, specifically he has a medical problem, it's okay with him. Okay, but generally speaking, the sunnah is to delay the suhoor. When the companion was asked, what is the time? Okay, he said the time is reading يعني, about 50 verses. Yeah, reading 50 verses will take, let's say, يعني 10 minutes يعني, or 20 minutes. Okay, so to believe that, wallahi, I should stop eating and drinking because of the acidity for normal people, this is wrong. Okay, يعني what is the problem of drinking water? What is the problem of the dates? Okay, the Prophet ﷺ said, نعم السحور مؤمن التمر. But for example, if there is a person, يعني the doctor told him, يعني stop eating, drinking because of acidity, this is a different issue, 1 hour before. But what is the problem with the acidity? Okay, يعني the water will lower your acidity. Because the pH for the water, it is between 6.5 and 8.5, and the acidity of the stomach is 1. So no doubt the water will lower your acidity. So this point is medically, I think, not correct, and also Islamically not correct.
Jazakallah khair, Shaykh. The next question is that I heard that we have to make up our missed fast before the next Ramadan. I was pregnant last Ramadan and again this Ramadan. So I have not fasted for 2 years. Can I make it any time or before the next Ramadan starts?
For the pregnant woman and also the breastfeeding woman, the fatwa of Abdullah ibn Abbas and Abdullah ibn Umar, okay, no need to make up the fasting later. Okay, you can feed for every day that you missed. So for example, you missed last Ramadan and this Ramadan, so 30 days, so the total 60 days, so you feed 60 poor people. You feed 60 poor people. Allah alam.
Next question, we do give zakat in Ramadan, but do we need to completely give our zakat in the month of Ramadan, or can we give it year round?
The zakah is related with your money. So I have, yeah, for example, if I inherited money, 10,000 dinar, okay, someone from your family passed away and you inherited money, 10,000 dinar. So when you got the 10,000 dinar, because you know sometimes the issue of the court, so you got the 10,000 dinar in Muharram month, and you saved this money. So you have to give the zakah next Muharram. You have to give the zakah next Muharram. So please, brothers and sisters, many Muslims think that the zakah should be in Ramadan. No, the zakah should not be in Ramadan. The zakah should be all around the year. It depends on your money. Wallahi, I saved the money and I started from Muharram, so I should give the zakah in Muharram. I started in, for example, Sha'ban, so it should be in Sha'ban. Okay, so it is related with the money. When it reaches the nisab, what is the meaning of nisab? Nisab means what equals to 85.5 grams pure gold.
On zakat, there is another question that we have kept some money for the Quran Learning Academy that is still in planning stage. Should zakat be paid over this money that we have kept for the academy? The academy will be free for general public to learn Quran.
Basically, the zakah should be to the eight categories mentioned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So giving the zakah to build a masjid, it's not allowed. Giving the zakah, wallahi, for studies, it's not allowed. Okay, so the zakah should go to these 8 categories. إنما الصدقات للفقراء والمساكين والعاملين عليهم والمؤلفة قلوبهم وفي الرقاب وفي سبيل الله وابن السبيل والغارمين وابن السبيل فريضة من الله. Okay, so these 8 categories. Okay, so if the people who are memorizing Quran, for example, they are poor, so we give them money because they are poor. Okay, so the zakah should be go to these 8 categories. And also I like to mention a point because of the zakah about iftar sa'im. Now in Ramadan, mashallah, many people, they like to feed the people to break their fast. I know this year yani, maybe there is some difficulty because it is not allowed to cook the food or to buy it from the restaurant and to gather the people in the masjid. This is not allowed this year. Okay, but when you make this this meal, okay, people ask, can we pay the zakah? Okay, number one, those who are yani, coming to the masjid, not all of them are poor. Not all of them are poor. Okay. Number two, the zakah money should go to the person as money. I mean, yani, don't buy something, then you give the items to the poor person. Basically, I should give the money. Khalas, I have the zakah, sorry, I have the money, 10,000 KD. So how much the zakah of 10,000 KD? 250 KD. Okay, so I should take this 250 KD and I search for a poor person, I give him. Please take the money. This way.
Jazakallah khair. Next question is that before I pray Fajr, after the time of Fajr, if I burp and it is like a vomit and something comes back into my mouth, but I don't really vomit, will it break my fast?
Of course, this happens unintentionally. Okay, when you feel sometimes it is because sometimes because we eat too much. Some people think that it is a battle, that I have to eat everything before the Fajr Adhan. I'm eating rice, biryani, lasagna, dates, laban, milk, everything. Okay, so it is like a war between me and the it is not a punishment. Fasting is not a punishment. But for example, after I hear the Fajr Adhan, in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I felt some of the food came here up. Okay, then I spit it out or I swallow it because I couldn't control it. Then your fasting is okay.
Jazakallah khair. Is ghusl compulsory before sahur for sexual intercourse at night?
No, ghusl is not a condition for the fasting. So if I wake up, okay, and I am in a state of janaba, and still I have only 5 minutes, okay, before Fajr, so I am between 2 options. I take a shower, or I do ghusl, or I take suhoor. Go and take suhoor. Quickly you take suhoor, some dates, some water, okay. Then after the adhan you can make ghusl and you pray Fajr.
Jazakallah khair. Is it necessary to take a nap and then pray tahajjud, or it can be prayed any time before Fajr?
Yes, you can take a nap. You can take a nap and for example, you pray al-Isha, then you sleep, then you wake up, for example, 12:30 to pray. Of course, this is better. If you delay, as we mentioned, if you delay it. But if you like to pray, no, not wajib, not necessary. You can pray any time, but if you delay it, it's better. If you sleep, then you wake up, this is better. This was the way of Dawood alayhi salatu wasalam.
Jazakallah khair. Is it allowed to eat even when adhan is going on at Fajr?
The hadith the Prophet ﷺ mentioned, إذا أذن المؤذن والإناء على يد أحدكم فلا يضعه حتى يقضي منه حاجته. When the adhan is on and there is something in your hand, so the Prophet ﷺ said, don't leave it until you finish your need from this cup. Okay, so I am drinking. Of course, the hadith doesn't mean only drinking. It means you are eating. You are on the table and you are eating and drinking your suhoor. Then the adhan started. Okay, so finish your need. Okay, so maybe you need to continue maybe 1 minute or 2 minutes or maybe half a minute. Then you stop. This is allowed. According to the hadith. Anything more?
Yes, Shaykh. sorry we lost the connection for a bit. I apologize.
Should I repeat?
Can you hear me, Shaykh?
Should I repeat?
Maybe it was just my connection, Shaykh.
Okay.
Let me ask the next question. Is it applicable for a 12-year boy to lead the Rawi prayer for his parents?
What is the age?
12-year.
Yes, 12 years is a good age to lead the salah, but if he knows the conditions of salah. يعني at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when boy maybe was 7 years old, he led the salah. Okay, so if this boy, he has more Quran, and he knows the conditions of the salah, then we tell him to lead the salah. But for example, you know, brothers and sisters, sometimes our boys nowadays, maybe the age is 10, 13, or maybe 15. When they lead the salah and he sees his sister or his younger brother, he loves in the salah. Okay, so we should not give him the permission to lead the salah. Why? Because laughing during the salah, this will break the salah. But if you know that, for example, you as a mother and your son, you are only at home. Okay, or you the father and you the mother and your son can't control himself, he knows how to pray, okay, let him lead the salah if he knows the recitation. Okay,
Sheikh. Next question is that the attendee, he lives in Philippines. What is the best way to give the charity? I mean, if we give it to non-Muslims or Muslims. So maybe the question is that can we give it to non-Muslims and will we get the same reward?
Number one, we should differentiate between the zakah, the compulsory zakah, and the optional zakah, or the general charity. The compulsory zakah should go to the Muslim. Basically, should go to the Muslim. Okay, but the optional salah, the optional charity, optional zakah, also it can be for the Muslim and for the non-Muslim. It can be for the Muslim and the non-Muslim. Okay, which is more, when the reward will be more? According to the need. According to the need. Okay, if you give it for someone who is more needy, inshallah, more reward will be. And there is a point that I notice some of the brothers, sisters, they think too much before giving the zakah. Okay, try to make it simple. Khalas, for example, you have a neighbor, especially nowadays. Maybe your neighbor is okay, he has a good job, but nowadays he lost his job. Or he has a business and he lost his business. Khalas, give him your charity. And he is Muslim, give him and support him. Because wallahi, sometimes my neighbor is a needy and I'm sending my money outside to a different country. He deserves the money more, inshallah.
How many sunnahs in Friday Jama'ah in masjid? Sometimes Prophet...
Sorry, can you repeat because the voice is not clear?
How many sunnah in Friday Jama'ah in masjid? How many rakats of sunnah should we pray? Sometimes Prophet prayed 2 and sometimes 4. Which one is correct?
Okay, there is something before the Jum'ah. Before the Jum'ah, it is an open number. Before Jum'ah, for example, you go to the masjid 9:30, 2 hours before the Adhan. So you can pray open number. You can pray open number. 10 rak'ah, 100 rak'ah. Okay, this is before Jum'ah. After Jum'ah, there is hadith that the Prophet ﷺ prayed 2. And there is hadith the Prophet ﷺ said to pray 4. Okay? So, some scholars said if you are going to pray at home, you pray 2. If you are going to pray in the masjid, you pray 4. But we don't have a proof for this, these two categories or these pictures. Okay? If you like to pray 2, it's okay. If you like to pray 4, this is okay. So this is sunnah and this is sunnah. Like the rak'ah before dhuhr. There is hadith that the Prophet ﷺ prayed 2, and there is hadith that the Prophet ﷺ prayed 4. So you can pray 2 or you can pray 4 before dhuhr. And also the same thing, you can pray 2 or you can pray 4 after Jum'ah. Both of them sunnah.
Jazakallah khair, Shaykh.